Welcome, everybody. I want to tell you some story about, well, it's one story I'm telling you about my art. It's the first time I actually was asked to do something, and first time that my art was actually shown and was actually for sale. So, that story actually started out with a really, really good friend of mine that I met when I came back from Seattle. I think it was Seattle. Anyway, he was introduced to me specifically to kind of give him a sort of life lesson, if you will, kind of prepare him for what his current situation was. So me and him and I became really, really good friends. And Paree was a poet. He was a former football star in Michigan. After all that ended, he became a poet. And he, when we met, he was living in Michigan back home and was doing poetry. So we hung out for a summer and I read a lot of his poetry. And at that time, he had been approached to do a book because his poetry was really good. So he actually approached me to do a few pieces of based on the poetry that he had written and put that on canvas, what my impressions were. So I really accepted that as a challenge and was so grateful because the crowd, the this clique that I was hanging out then was totally art focused. So I did that, and what resulted was what I call under the influence, and this was in 2000. So the way that I did it, these are individual panels, individual pieces, but you can see that there is a line that runs through and connects them. Also, you can see that globe that connects them as well. So it wasn't called Under the Influence, it was called something else, but that's what I called it. To Taste of Him, that was one that he had picked, or that I had picked. He had picked it to be in the book, and I had picked to draw it. To Taste of Him, that is To Taste of Him. So a few pieces sold, and I don't know what happened to Paree. He kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. My Time Now. My Time Now. But the project never happened. Like I said, a lot of the pieces sold, which I was overwhelmed. Fantasies. No, that's called Real Is My Love. And this is one that sold. Still I Scream. Actually, you know, the better way to show these, well, the better way to show it is the original art. In lieu of that, because few of them sold, I actually made photocopies of the ones. This is actually, I'm not sure which one it is, but these are the pieces that I did. Just to give you a general idea. I can't remember which corresponds to what, but these are the pieces. These are all pastel on paper. That might be, bear with me. This is trying to figure out which pieces are the names, because I might be able to remember them. Actually, this might be fantasies. As I look in the deep pools of your eyes, touching your soul, I find paradise. My nature tells me to follow through, go forward. You touching me touching you. That is how I envisioned us 1,000 times. Unable to grasp what seems so near, I panic with fear, my mind still unclear. That's got to be fantasies. And this is blue something. This might have actually sold. And of course, that is To Taste of Him. And this is Why Do I Cry? And there is Why Do I Scream? And that's that. Okay, this is Why Do I Scream? Seems every time I speak loudly, I'm corrected or muzzled for some reason or another, especially when talking on political, racial, or religious matters. Anything dealing with real life, real situations. I wonder if this predicament is predicated on the color of my pigment, on me being an intelligent black male. Okay, for a sneak peek, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what I'm going to do next. What I'm going to reveal next, for years, I have been traveling. For years, I've been traveling. Specifically, when I go to Italy and Greece, really anywhere I go, I like to own on my watercolor skills, since that's really where I started, was watercolors, self-taught. I've never shown this before until now, but this is a sneak peek of what I do. I usually, depending on how many days that I am there, I usually kick out 2 or 3 a day. So I'm just going to give you a sneak peek. You can see this starts at 03, and there may be other books. That says Detroit Airport. Well, these are the sketches. Now, this is where we start the watercolors. Palermo. Okay. Anyway, folks, that's just a sneak preview, and stay tuned for that and more of my discussions on my art. Appreciate you watching. Rest in peace, Paree, or whatever, wherever you are. Enjoy your art and your orchids. Bye.